first Zambia, where Kenneth Kaunda, one of the best-known African leaders, lost hopelessly in the country's first elections in 27 years. The wave of democracy that's gradually moving across Africa hit Zambia last week and swept Frederick Chiluba into power. Chiluba promises to end Kaunda's version of socialism and bring in free market policies and privatization.
At one time, it had seemed that Zambian President Kenneth Kaunda would rule forever. He had won independence for his country, emerged as one of Africa's most celebrated statesmen, and had single-handedly ruled Zambia for 27 seemingly endless years. But last week, Kaunda was finally humbled as Zambia's 3 million voters gave a dramatic verdict against him. He polled just 20% of the votes, while the opposition candidate, Frederick Chiluba, of the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, the MMD, got the rest. Chiluba promises to end the nepotism and corruption that characterized the later years of Kaunda's rule and introduce free market policies to revive the crisis-ridden economy. The poll result not only marks the end of Kaunda's supremacy, but also the end of a one-party democracy styled on socialistic lines. The transition to a multi-party system was remarkably peaceful. Poll turnout was extremely high, and by all accounts, the elections were conducted scrupulously. Western observers, including former US President Jimmy Carter, who oversaw the elections, were impressed. Shortly after his landslide victory, Chiluba was sworn in as Zambia's second president, and the first democratically elected one in more than 2 decades. Kaunda acknowledged his defeat with a grace befitting his stature as one of Africa's most respected leaders. He congratulated his successor and said losing was part of the electoral game.
This is the nature of multi-party politics. You win some and you lose some elections.
Chiluba too accepted his new status with humility.
You know, the whole thing is a new ball game to me, and I'm waiting for the experts to tell me, here's where you start now, and your elder brother Kaunda ends there. Then I'll pick it up.
But picking up the pieces is not going to be easy. When Kaunda had assumed power 27 years ago, he had inherited an economy that was rich by African standards. But Chiluba claims that Kaunda's socialism, which included wholesale nationalization of industries and the imposition of agricultural collectives, ruined the economy. Last year, food riots broke out throughout the country, followed by mass looting. Although time was clearly running out for Kaunda, he appeared to be unconcerned as the economy slid deeper into debt and food prices rose sharply. Chiluba will now have to tackle a crippling $12 billion foreign debt, runaway inflation, and a broken-down agricultural system. But unlike Kaunda, Chiluba is unlikely to get anywhere near 27 years to keep his poll promises.
The people of Zambia, without fear, favor, or ill will. So help me God.